Tonight on the podcast, Matt is fighting Omicron, so I'm going to be telling you what we're talking about today, which is Wolverine casting from Matthew Vaughn. Is Tom Holland going to step aside? What's happening with the Blue Beetle movie, as well as a review of Hawkeye and the latest Spider-Man movie with no spoilers this time. But until then,
hit the music.
It is Friday night in Phoenix, Arizona, and you are listening to the best damn podcast in the whole world. Not just geek, but the best in all the world, in all the lands. I am Max.
I'm Lance.
And I'm Omnicron Matt.
We're excited to be podcasting tonight. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm glad Matt's here. I was kind of bummed
dude,
when yeah, you're battling off the herp, from what I hear.
Yeah, herp. I'd take the herp over this any day.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
Dude, I'm excited. Well, we'll see how it goes because I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited to talk about Spider-Man tonight.
You can do it.
We'll see if Max can get through it, or Lance can get through without spoiling anything.
Just be careful what you say. Just be really careful. Because literally yesterday, Lance was spoiling things for me during the movie.
What are you talking about?
I can't say.
This is the first time.
It wasn't that.
Ready.
He was basically spoiling what was coming up in a post-credit scene. So luckily he didn't spoil any of like the meat of the movie. But he's like, "Oh yeah, the post-credit scene is going to be this." I'm like, "Lance, I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. I wanted to be completely surprised."
Well,
anyway.
I don't know. I don't even know if that's a spoiler because it's already online.
Anyways.
Like Marvel. Yeah, Marvel released it. So
yes. Anyway. But yeah, dude, guys, I'm excited to be talking about a lot of different stuff tonight.
Yeah, dude, guys.
Yeah, dude, guys. So one thing I've been really excited about that I haven't had a chance to say much on the podcast.
You're going gluten free.
No, I'm not going gluten free. I've been reading the Wheel of Time books, and I mentioned that like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I'm already through 1.5 books, which is an accomplishment because they're like 800 to 1,000 page books. They're really good, man. Forgot how fun reading can be. Like it's a weird thing, right? It's a weird thing when at night when my wife goes to bed, I don't want to play video games. I mean, I have been playing video games, but I'll just throw on Forza.
You're supposed to get permission first, Max.
To do what?
When your wife goes to bed, you don't want to play video games. You're supposed to get permission from her first.
Oh, geez. No, I've been reading. Like, I'll throw on Forza because there's no story, and I'll just play that and listen to a book in the background. So, not reading, but listening to a book.
Oh, I was going to say, I picture you in bed next to her, sheet pulled over your head, little headlight lamp on, they're reading like you would when you were a kid.
With a Kit Kat bar?
Like you used to read scary stories to tell in the dark.
No, I do read the paperback sometimes, but usually it's me listening to the Audible.
Yeah, so I can't do Audible, man. I can't focus on it. I'm constantly having to rewind it and listen to a part over again because I completely forget that it's even playing.
Yeah, we're having a Omicron spreading party here tomorrow, and in preparation, I'm kidding. We're just I'm having a little get together at my house with a few friends, and just like for brunch. And so I was in the yard earlier today cleaning up, and that's what I was doing. I put some headphones on, listened to my book, and
for friends, huh? So Lance, did you get that invite?
Yeah, I'm there.
Friends that don't live an hour and a half away. I'm sorry, Matthew. Sorry.
I'm not going to be on your guys' side of town tomorrow anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Well, you're also like hacking up a lung over there.
Yes, that is true.
What is our side of town? Like
the
East Phoenix?
Like Chandler.
Oh.
Yeah, we're way further than that.
Yeah, I know you are, but
the other day
that's within like 30 minutes.
He says I was right by your house. I was like, "Oh, you were? Where were you?" He goes, "Apache Junction." I was like, "Dude, that's like 30 minutes away from my house."
That's to the northeast.
No, I didn't say we were close to your house. The fiance did, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Hey, that's a lot closer than Avondale or wherever you live.
Oh, it's true.
Glendale.
It's true. I'd much
That's
rather
right,
meet
you
you
live
in
by Card
AJ
Stadium.
Tolson or whatever, wherever you live.
I don't live in Tolson.
He lives right by the Cards.
Tolson's right next to the Card Stadium.
Oh, is
no,
it?
It's not. Tolson's still like 20 minutes away from the Cardinal Stadium.
See? So there we go.
Don't you drive right past Tolson? Well,
you have to drive past Tolson to get on the 101, and then you go up the 101 to the Cardinal Stadium. It's not.
So I guess
15,
that's like
it's still like 15, 20 minutes from.
That's like saying
Cardinal
Chandler
Stadium.
is right next to us. You have to like drive through Chandler to get to us. Depending on which route.
There's like 3 or 4 other cities in between that you have to go through.
Sam says, "Welcome to the geography bee."
Mhm.
Hey, what's up, Sam?
He's right. Riveting podcasting tonight.
Well, I mean, leave it up to old Lance there. If it was up to Lance, we would have the gluten-free brick oven pizza power hour.
That sounds amazing.
It actually does sound pretty good. I mean, it doesn't sound entertaining at all, but I mean, brick oven pizza sounds pretty good.
It sounds delicious. Oh man! So we're talking about some news and Spider-Man, and I think
absolutely, man.
Max, you're going to talk about Halo tonight.
I am. I'm going to be talking about Halo, giving my thoughts on the campaign, and yeah. It's an exciting time to be a nerd, man. There's so much going on. Like literally Witcher Season 2 came out today. So for me, that's a big deal. I got another episode of Wheel of Time. We got the finale of Hawkeye coming out next week. We just had Spider-Man. Matrix is coming out next week. The King's Man. Like you may not be interested in all of those things. I mean, I listed things that I'm interested in for all of those, but that's a lot, dude.
I'm not hearing good things about Matrix, though.
I've heard Matrix is like a little too meta. I'm a little worried about that, but
I've heard the ending is very, very weak also.
Oh, really? Well, I was going to go to the theaters, but I'm like, it's on HBO Max. I'll watch it on the TV.
Isn't that the whole deal with the Matrix, though? Like the first one was amazing, and then like they really haven't been able to replicate it.
Yeah, they haven't been able to replicate it. The first one's a classic.
Leftovers Zaggy's calling you out. He's saying probably the lamest story for Halo. Sorry, not sorry.
Well, I don't know if he's calling me out. I haven't given my review yet. But I will say, spoiler for my review. I don't agree with him.
He is calling you out. He's throwing down the gauntlet right now.
Well, I don't agree with him. He can keep typing his disagreements with me later. I'll say it wasn't the best Halo campaign ever, but the lamest? I mean, have you played ODST, buddy? Come on. Have you played Halo 5? Yeah. ODST sucks. ODST is awful.
All right, nerds.
And everyone that says otherwise.
Easy.
All right, nerds. Come on. This is the Absolute
Someone's
Geek
going to get a nosebleed.
We're geeks, not nerds.
Yeah.
I literally got a nosebleed earlier today. I think I'm doing something right. Or something very, very wrong.
All right. What do we got? What do we got on the show tonight?
Geek news. Hell yeah. All right.
One day that'll get recorded.
Yeah. Lance, I wanted you to take this one away. You put together the slides, so tell us what's going on here.
So first of all, Matthew Vaughn says that he wants to reboot Wolverine for the MCU, which I'm not on board with.
Have you played Halo of Patrick Johnson?
And he kind of put forward his top 3 casting choices for Wolverine. 2 of them I was able to find fan art for. Aaron Taylor Johnson I was not. What
is it with that guy? Can we stop with him already?
I don't understand.
Quicksilver, Craven. Now we're talking about Wolverine or Kick-Ass, Quicksilver, Craven. Can we just stop with him already?
Yeah, I don't really understand.
I don't understand what the big appeal of it. Like Tom Hardy, I get, but Tom Hardy's Venom, so I don't think that's gonna work. But Tom Hardy makes total sense to me. You guys know my love for Taron Egerton, which was a name that he put forward, but he's also the creator of Kingsman, so of course he's gonna have a little chubby for Taron Egerton. And Kick-Ass, so he has Aaron Taylor Johnson there, but I just want to know what you guys thought about his recommendations and whether you'd want to see Matthew Vaughn direct Wolverine. I don't
know if I want to see him direct Wolverine. Like, I love Kingsman. It's probably one of my favorite action movies. Like, I love it. And I think that his direction is a big part of that. But would that style work for Wolverine? I don't know. But I will say, You don't think it would?
No, I think it would. His hyper-violent style would be.
The hyper-violence, yes, but I don't want as much of the humor. Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. But I do agree with his casting of Taron Egerton. I've always been game for that. We tease Lance about it, but I think Taron would be a good.
Yes, Lance does have a big chubby for Taron. Anytime he can find a way to work him in, he's gonna include that story.
I like how he wrote that Taron, big O-N, big hard on.
It's just a lot of casting. We know that they're probably going to skew younger, right? They want someone younger. Out of all the guys that they've said in the younger, because there's guys that would be great Wolverines, but they're just on the older side, like what's his name, Armitage,
Richard Armitage. Yeah, he's got a good look and he could do that growl,
but he's older, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the young guys that they've talked about, and here's 3 young guys right here. If you had to pick between the 3 of these,
Tom Hardy's not a young guy.
He's younger than Richard Armitage.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think you go older. You've got to go older.
I don't think Wolverine, they're going to,
because the dude's hundreds of years old. He was survived World War II, Vietnam. Like, he's hundreds of years old. So you got.
I don't think they're going to go prepubescent, but I think
he's got to go. I think middle 40s, man.
I think someone like late 20s, early 30s is what they got to go with, because you want this person to play the role for like 15, 20 years if they can.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, you can't get Hugh Jackman, because Hugh Jackman, after every movie, he's gonna have to have a blood transfusion or something like that. So I don't know. Like, I just don't think there's another.
Leftover Zaggy knows the theme. Just get a no-name Wolverine.
Oh, and I'm all for that. I think that's great. Like, MCU, the Marvel in general has really hit it big with getting no-name actors for these roles. I think sometimes getting a good name is justified, but look at Tom Holland, who we'll talk about at the end of the show. Nobody really knew who he was. I mean, he was in 2 or 3 movies that were really good, but no one knew really who he was. Now he's a household name. So I have no problem with that. But if they do go for some name recognition, I haven't seen anybody that's in that 20 to 30-year-old range that I think could do the role justice like Taron Egerton could.
I think he's a great pick. I've always been on board, but I'm not on board for Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I don't even like him as Kraven, man. I didn't like him as Quicksilver.
Is he confirmed casting for Kraven?
Yes.
Well, I hope he does a good job.
He's already getting like real yoked. Like I saw some recent pictures of him looking pretty big, but
it's just interesting because he's going to be fighting the MCU's Spider-Man, but he was Quicksilver. I don't know. I guess they can make him look different enough. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Aaron Taylor Johnson wasn't even that good as Kick-Ass, in my opinion. Like, the first movie he was kind of awkward and everything, and I kind of liked him, but the second movie just kind of went off the rails. The real bright spot of Kick-Ass is Hit Girl, in my opinion. Matt, would you agree?
Yes.
What's her name?
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
I like that actress. Yeah.
Yeah. But Aaron Taylor Johnson is just, I don't know.
He's a weirdo, and he married someone like 20 years older than him.
Older than that, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe his wife is like very geriatric.
She directed him in a movie. I'm pretty sure she's in her 60s.
Jeez.
Maybe.
Yeah. But like the Godzilla that he was in was the weakest of the trilogy. The new trilogy.
Wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I like how he.
It was the best one of the new trilogy.
I like
the first one
from playing brother and sister with Elizabeth Olsen to being in Godzilla and playing a love interest.
Yeah, I remember.
Married, right?
Godzilla. I think Godzilla came out a few months before.
No, I remember after. It came out after you see them, because you first see them in the mid-credit scene for I want to say
it was
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Did I say it was the weakest of the trilogy?
You did.
Yes.
No, Godzilla versus Kong is the weakest.
Yeah, I was going to say
forgot about that one. I struck that from my memory. Skull Island's the best of the whole thing.
Your guys' conversation is so riveting, it's making me sweaty.
Let's go to the next one.
Could be the fever, but you guys, either way, you're making me sweaty.
Sweaty balls.
More Aaron Taylor Johnson. Well, I guess he's going to be involved with this, but Matthew Vaughn.
So basically the headline is that Kick-Ass is supposedly going to be getting a reboot. And it's going to be nuts.
It's still 2 years away because the rights revert back in 2 years. And most likely it's probably going to end up being a Netflix show because he's got that big deal with Netflix. Mark Millar, who created Kick-Ass, owns the property. He's going to most likely bring it to Netflix.
But Matthew Vaughn's going to be involved with this too?
Am I losing internet? Did I lose you guys?
No, you're here.
No, we see you.
Maybe you don't see us. Now you're starting to go fuzzy.
Awesome. I'm just going to freeze here like this.
I don't know if Matthew Vaughn's involved. Is Matthew Vaughn involved with the reboot?
I don't know. Because they haven't really mentioned much about it other than they're planning on rebooting it and it's going to be fucking nuts. But like I was saying, Netflix, Millar has a deal with Netflix for all of his properties. So
that's what Jupiter's Legacy came from, right? Was him? Yeah.
Yep. And it's probably going to revert back to Netflix. And I would expect it to be with an entirely new cast.
Oh, I hope so. Although I did like it.
This is a gluten-free movie.
I did like who we were talking about a minute ago, Hit Girl. Well, I forget her name again. Chloe Grace Moretz. I like her, and Nick Cage was actually pretty awesome in the first movie
as Big Daddy. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but I don't know. We talk about Matthew Vaughn, and I think Kingsman is like the one anomaly. Like, I think most of his movies are bad. Like, I didn't like First Class, and I have not held this as a secret. I didn't like it. Kick-Ass 2 was hot garbage. I don't know. I don't like Matthew Vaughn.
He did Stardust. I didn't realize that. I love Stardust. He's done some good stuff. I mean, he really hasn't directed that much though. Looking at his IMDb credits. Stardust. He actually didn't direct the second Kick-Ass, according to this. He was only a producer. That's according to IMDb.
Did he write it?
He was a producer on it, but he didn't direct it.
But it doesn't change the fact that Lance's statement is correct. The second Kick-Ass was hot garbage.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of them, so I don't have a lot.
Oh, the first one's awesome, dude. I'm surprised you haven't seen that. It's really good. I like it.
This conversation is making me allergic to gluten, Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle wants you to know that Kate Bishop's farts are gluten-free.
Yeah.
So you can eat those all day, Lance.
It's getting just a little old. So so Tom Holland says he might be ready to hang up the suit. And he thinks that Gwen Stacy or Spider-Woman should be the next focus point.
This is the second time he's made this comment, because the first time it was, well, I'm going to hang it up and it's time to pass it on to Miles. And now it's time for me to step away.
I know, right? He's just
pass it over to Gwen or Spider-Woman. Or I'm going to take a break from acting and focus on starting a family. Dude, you're 24 years old, bro. Like, your body of work, although it is impressive, is not that big. Why wouldn't you at least pump out another Spider-Man trilogy and then walk away?
Or at least one to kind of usher in the next iteration of it. Like, so it's like a seamless transition. Like, you can't have this movie and then him leave and then just have a whole new character. Like, they need to have some movie where he's training Miles or something. I don't know.
I mean, I would say you gotta strike while the iron's hot and keep going, because you walk away from the industry and you come back. Is anybody really going to care about you? You've been gone for God knows how long. Why do you have to walk away from acting to start a family? Like, it takes 9 months, long 9 months to have a baby. You can crank out a couple films in there.
It is a long 9 months.
You're 25. You could at least do 3 more Spider-Man movies in 5 years.
I don't know. I
Good quality Spider-Man movies though in 5 years. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think you could. As long as Kevin Feige's name is attached to it, you're gold. Because you know what? He was an executive producer on the first Spider-Man movies with Tobey, and then he came back. I don't know if he was with Garfield, but then he came back with.
Well, I know he gave
Holland.
writing notes for the second one because they released that a couple months ago. Like his notes, it was on Reddit or something like that. Of all the note, he watched the second Spider-Man. He sent Amy Pascal like all these notes on the story and everything like that, and they did a bunch of reshoots because of it. But I don't know how much further he was involved in that.
Well, and like Sam brings up a good point. It's all a tease. He's already signed for more movies, but he has to sell the ending. Yeah, and that sucks because the end of that movie was dog shit.
Well, I just read about maybe 15 minutes ago that Kevin Feige says they're fast tracking Spider-Man 4. So in my mind, that would mean that Tom Holland is signed on.
Well, yeah, they broke pandemic records opening night, and they've seen the most turnout. They've had the most turnout in a theater since Endgame. So that movie's gonna break $1 billion in no time.
Yeah, it's definitely successful. I hope they fast track the next one.
But
I'm just like Tom Holland's all over the place with his comments. I'm just like tired of even speculating on it.
When I hear things like fast track or 3 movies in 5 years, that makes me really worried. Because Kevin Feige, as great as he is, not everything he's touched has been gold. Yes, it's made a lot of money, but Captain Marvel wasn't very good. Black Widow wasn't very good. The Eternals.
Well, I think we're getting to that point where we've been so oversaturated with superhero movies and Marvel movies that our expectations are getting to be higher. So you're expecting them to be more outlandish, more,
way more epic.
Way more epic, like
yes.
You're expecting more from
Endgame in this one.
They're not delivered. Like they didn't deliver that with our Eternals. They didn't deliver that with Black Widow. They're not really delivering that with any of their TV shows. So I just think our expectations as far as superhero movies go are way more outlandish now because we're expecting them to be like over the top and just these huge cinematic epics.
I agree with that. I think
Doctor Strange has the potential to be that. If all the stuff that we've been reading about turns out to be true, and I won't talk about it here because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but all the stuff that's been leaked about that movie, if it's true, it's probably going to be another big which it's interesting that they're releasing the trailer so early. Don't you guys think?
No, I mean the movie comes out in May.
Well, Spider-Man, they released it a month and a half ago? The first one came out?
Well,
Spider-Man, that's a Sony movie.
Spider-Man, they're trying to hide a bunch of stuff, and they did a very poor job at it.
That's true.
They did a really bad job of it because anybody that saw the trailers and saw Doc Ock and Willem and the Green Goblin and all these people from these past movies has to either put 2 and 2 together. If they're in the movie, somebody else is probably in the movie. Which I don't think is a spoiler because everybody knows that that's been hypothesized already to no end, but they did not do good.
I'm just going to go ahead and cut you off before you get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, for real.
You
don't understand what a spoiler is.
I don't think that's a spoiler. It's been everywhere.
Bro, you got to chill.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love you.
Your mom is in the movie.
There are surprises in that movie, I would say. So, but a lot was spoiled.
Well, speaking of more superhero news and Spider-Man related news, it's the actor for Lizard that said this, right?
Reese,
he said that he wants
he
wants a Venom versus Lizard movie. I I don't want that movie, but that fight sounds cool.
Feel to want, bro.
I mean, those two fighting each other would be pretty cool. Can't deny that.
I don't think Lizard's that interesting.
It makes no sense now.
I don't find him that. I've never found him that. Dr. Kirk Connors wants his arm back, so he becomes I just don't find it. I've never found him that interesting.
As a comic book character goes, he's got a lot of layers to him. He's a very interesting comic book character because it's just his struggles and his struggles with vanity of being accepted and not having that arm and wanting to regrow it, and the struggles of his family and how his choices affect his relationships and things like that. So it's there's a lot of layers to him as far as a comic book character goes. But yeah, him in the movies, it's why would you do this? What are you gonna get out of this? Venom kills the lizard in 2 seconds.
Yeah. And plus, if it's this iteration of the lizard, I definitely don't want to see it because I think he looks like King Koopa from the original Super Mario movies.
You're right, Kyle. He's like an onion. He's got layers.
I've never been that into the lizard. I think there's plenty of other more interesting characters, but I don't know.
No, I think we all agree. This isn't anything that anyone really wants. Speaking of things that no one wants, do you guys want a Blue Beetle movie? Because it's not coming to HBO Max anymore. It's coming to theaters.
I think that shows that there's more interest in this movie, and it's garnering a lot of attention that they're going to take it from HBO Max and put it in the theaters.
Yeah,
and to have to make it a bigger budget film to go into theaters than to HBO
I'm down for it.
Yeah, it's slated for August 2023, so it's it's going to be a while. I mean, I like when these things come to the streaming services because it's just nice to have it there. But when it's a superhero movie, I usually like to see it in theaters anyway. So this is cool. If this means more budget, if this means it's going to be a better movie, then I'm here for it. I know.
I think that Flashpoint, you're going to get through Wonder Woman 3, Aquaman 2, Flashpoint, and then I think the DCU is going to change directions. And I think the Batman is going to be one of those movies that helps and change directions. You already kind of saw it with Joker, and I think the Batman coming out in March, it's going to help push over that edge. That they're going to finish these films that they've got slated, and then they're going to change directions and try to get that DC.
Well, that's if these movies don't make a buttload of money.
Oh,
like if Flash goes, blockbuster.
Flash is gonna go blockbuster for nostalgia alone.
Like, well, Shazam too.
Just to see Michael Keaton in that bat suit again, people are gonna go insane for that.
I mean, you've got Shazam 2, you've got Black Adam, you've got the Flash. What else did they announce for DCU? Is that it?
There's another Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, Aquaman 2.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't see them throwing Gal Gadot away. Do you guys?
Wonder Woman 2 wasn't as well received. If Wonder Woman 3 is in a similar vein, yeah, I could see them moving on to someone else. Especially if the Batman does so well that they think they can build a universe around it.
Well, I don't think they're going to build a universe around the Batman per se, but I think they're going to take that movie in a different direction because it's not tied to any of their other movies, and it's going to show them that they don't need to have a connecting universe to put out.
Oh, so you're saying more standalone stuff?
Yeah.
I just like Joker, and from what I've seen from the Batman is that they're dark and it doesn't seem to be forced. Like Zack Snyder's movies were dark, but it seemed forced. The Joker is a dark movie because of the subject material, and Batman looks like it's going to be the same way. I like that. Like, I think that is different enough from the MCU to keep me interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I loved the Joker. The Batman looks awesome. But you guys know I love DC movies. Like, they're my jam. I literally finished my probably 7th or 8th watch of Zack Snyder's Justice League last night.
Oh my god!
Like, I've watched that 4-hour movie so many times. Because I do.
Watch that 4-hour movie. So Jesus Christ.
Probably 5 times, not 7 or 8.
I saw you watching it at your house before we saw the Cardinals game a couple weeks ago. And just sitting down for 5 minutes, I was bored to tears.
You didn't even watch any of it.
Max, you had it. If you're in trouble, Max, blink twice. If someone's abusing you, blink twice. Just let us know.
Don't ever get that close to the screen ever again.
If someone's abusing you and making you watch this movie over and over again, just let us know.
No blinking happening.
I think the problem I have with DC is that I love those characters so much, and I've like The Dark Knight was so good that the Zack Snyder movies just don't even, they're not even close. I don't know.
It's a taste thing, right? Like I just think I really enjoy Zack Snyder's style. I like his storytelling approach. I like his visual style. I just love him. Like pretty much every Zack Snyder movie I've ever seen, I've liked. If not
Sucker
loved.
Punch.
I've only seen it the one time. I remember liking it, but it's been a long time, and that was before I reviewed movies.
I walked out of Sucker Punch.
I feel like he's the Michael Bay of comic book movies. Cheap explosions, zero storyline. But to each his own, Max. You're all good.
I know. You guys like to mess with me about it. It's all good. Max only watches the girl spontaneously sing at Aquaman. Okay, that is like the one scene in the movie that I'm like, what in the...
But that's not Zack Snyder.
What is this? Yeah, that was Zack Snyder. That was his cut.
Wan. Oh, that's a cut he did?
No, the cut of Justice League has all these like Norse women singing like a song as Aquaman leaves. It's weird.
Oh, see, I don't even remember the movie. All I remember, there's a really dumb scene with a rock crawling thing where they're all climbing on this big. They're all climbed on this machine.
Oh yeah, that was in the original movie. It's just better in the Snyder cut. The crawler thing that Batman.
It's better because you see less of it. He cut off half the movie.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go next.
Let's do it. The next episode of Hawkeye is going to be the longest episode for any MCU show yet. Supposedly going to be 59 minutes, so about 38 with credits.
And the only reason I put MCU
and only about 9 minutes longer than episode 2.
So the only reason I put MCU on this is because I didn't see anything like. I don't know how long the Star Wars stuff, like if they had one.
I don't know if there's been any Star Wars ones that have been over an hour but there may be. I think the headline I saw that it is the same thing. It was the longest of any Disney Plus, like any Marvel Disney Plus show so far. But it might be any Disney Plus show, period.
Yeah, I just didn't want to put that on there and then be beholden to that if I was incorrect.
I really hope we get a second season of this show.
Me too. I really like it.
Do you think you get it with Jeremy Renner?
Yeah, I think so.
I do too. I think you would get it with Jeremy Renner, but I think Kate would be more of a partner than like a sidekick like she is in this.
See, I think Kate, if Jeremy Renner wasn't in it, I think it could still be a good show because I think she could carry her own show.
Oh, 100% she could. She's awesome. But I think that their dynamic is really fun. And so I think it'd be better if they were both in it.
I agree. Their chemistry is, you have to admit, they have great chemistry, the two of them.
Absolutely, they do. And there's almost like this father-daughter kind of dynamic going on here because he's old enough to be her father. So I'm stoked. We probably should have just tied this into our Hawkeye review, which is
I effed that up. The next screen.
Well, let's just
the Hawkeye review.
I know how to skip. I know how to skip. Let's just review Hawkeye. We'll go to Halo after this.
Okay. I didn't make that connection until you said it before.
This isn't Max's first rodeo.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got the next episode of Hawkeye coming up. We just had Hawkeye episode 5. Are we spoiling this? Because we're doing Spider-Man last and not spoiling that. So.
You can't ask me to, like, I'm already stressed out enough as it is. And I assume during the Spider-Man thing I'm going to be mostly quiet. Don't ask me to do it for this one too.
Okay.
FanDuel betting odds are going off 10-1 that Lance says something that spoils Spider-Man in a non-spoiler review.
Dude, he already did it earlier. So yeah. Where is our spoiler?
So Sam brought up this this scene.
The fact that
here we go.
Haley Steinfeld and Florence Pugh talking for 7 hours is what Hawkeye 2 will be. That was probably one of the coolest scenes in the whole episode.
Do you know that a lot of that was ad-libbed? I was reading Florence Pugh ad-libbed a lot about that with the cutlery and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which just goes to show me how just good she actually is
hot in that scene too.
Oh yeah, dude. But like the fact that like all of our favorite Marvel actors like Robert Downey and stuff, they ad-libbed a lot of their scenes, and it just goes to show you that they understand the essence of the character that they're playing, right? It's not all the words on the paper, that they can ad-lib something and it be completely true to the character that we know, right? Like that scene about the cutlery, from watching Black Widow to this, just seems like something that she would say. Like it was
absolutely,
it was perfectly spot on.
It was a perfect continuation of that character.
Yeah, she could go down as one of my favorite characters in the MCU if she keeps going this way. Like she's fantastic. She's the only, well, I guess David Harbour wasn't that bad in Black Widow, but she's the best part of Black Widow.
Oh, by far she's the best part.
Like David Harbour was pretty good, but
yeah, but no, she's hilarious in that. Her whole, and Black Widow, the whole you're such a poser. Always posing. And then she just carried it all over into this show. I'm stoked to see what what she gets up to in episode 6, because I mean she's gonna have to help him out, right? Or if there is a season 2, maybe they're gonna carry that arc into season 2. But you know, she's a good guy. She's just being manipulated by Madam Hydra. Or maybe they're not calling her that, but that's what I thought she was in the comics.
Not being manipulated, she was hired. I mean,
yeah, but she's being manipulated because that lady told her that Hawkeye killed her sister.
Is that Madam Hydra?
No, that was what no, I'm totally wrong.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus is supposed to be Madam Hydra?
No.
Oh, I didn't think
wrong.
So.
That's what I thought I read, but trust Matt on that.
Yeah, so like we said, we're getting into spoilers in this one. So there's a pretty major reveal at the end of this episode. Matt still has his doubts, from what I understand, that it isn't this person, but well, it is the character, but he has his doubts of the actor that is pictured.
Dude, it doesn't look like him.
It totally looks like him.
It looks like
totally looks
Hank
like
from Breaking Bad.
No.
Okay, so we have the spoiler tag up. We're about to spoil the last scene of Hawkeye episode 5. So if you're listening and you don't want to hear this, tune out for a little bit, then come back. But Vincent D'Onofrio is Kingpin in Hawkeye, same guy that was in the Daredevil show. And Matt thinks that the picture they show at the end of like basically a Twitter post or whatever isn't Vincent D'Onofrio in that picture. I totally disagree. I think it looks just like Vincent D'Onofrio.
Absolutely.
But the point is, I don't like, we can tease Matt about it or whatever, but the point is, Matt, you do agree that Vincent D'Onofrio is playing Kingpin. You just don't think that picture is.
No, it's gonna be Vincent D'Onofrio, yes, but I don't think like that picture they use of him on the phone totally looks like Hank from Breaking Bad was standing in for him. It totally looks like they're
both
reshoots.
big white bald guys.
If they got okay, so your reasoning was maybe he was busy and he couldn't pose for this picture. So
no, I'm saying that maybe they had to do reshoots and he was working on another project and he couldn't come back for reshoots, so they just had somebody do a stand-in. It happened with WandaVision. The kid who plays Wiccan was supposed to be the kid from Lock and Key and but he couldn't come back for reshoots, so they just reshot the role with somebody else.
Yeah, the whole show.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it could just be that shot because
But
of the
it's
way
just one
it's on a
picture.
phone. Dude, I wish we had the picture because it doesn't look like him.
I'm gonna find it right now. It totally looks like him.
No.
I'm with Lance on this. Vincent D'Onofrio, Hawkeye. Who's gonna find it first?
It is an Edgar suit. Yes. It is an Edgar suit.
I got it.
All right, you got it. All right.
I gotta move it over here, actually.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I just want to say this episode was interesting because, like, it wasn't as action heavy, really. Like, there was the big action, fight between Ronan and Echo at the end, but I can't remember a ton of fighting otherwise. But I still really loved it because that Florence Pugh scene with Kate and just how the story was moving along. And, of course, the big reveal at the end with Kingpin. Like, super exciting. Yeah, there's the picture. Very blurry.
That does not look like D'Onofrio at all to me.
Totally does.
It totally doesn't.
Here. There we go. It's totally Vincent D'Onofrio.
That totally looks like Grandpa Chuck, who was on...
no, that's Vincent D'Onofrio for sure.
Nah, Vincent D'Onofrio doesn't have the, like, fucking turkey giblets on the neck, man. Like, that looks like Grandpa Chuck.
That's not turkey giblets. That's an ascot.
Yeah. No, that looks like Grandpa Chuck was just doing a stand-in, and it was the best thing that they had. That's what that looks like.
He's got the Fred Scooby-Doo thing going on, the ascot thing.
Dude. Yeah, fucking his turkey giblets hanging out there, and
what I noticed here, and I trying to remember Daredevil. I don't remember him ever having a cane in Daredevil. And here he has a cane.
Okay, I'm just pulling up another photo for reference. Okay. That is Vincent.
That is D'Onofrio, yes.
that is also
not D'Onofrio. No, it is not. It is not Vincent D'Onofrio.
Of course I've seen Young Frankenstein, Sam.
No.
Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder. Perfect movie.
That is not Vincent D'Onofrio.
Dude, you're on crack, dude. That is totally...
No.
What I'm trying to say is he's in the next episode, yes?
Yes, he'll be in the next episode, yes.
Why would they get a stand-in to just take a stupid picture?
Because maybe it didn't work out in the shot, so they had to redo reshoots. There was a thing called reshoots.
They could have just taken a screen grab from the next episode and thrown it up there.
No.
Dude, no.
Okay, so let's speculate. Why are they together? Is Kate's mom in on all this?
Kate's mom.
Bro.
It's not Jack that runs the Sloan Company. It's Kate's mom.
That's what you
think? It's
Hank
from Breaking Bad, all right?
No, dude.
That is Hank from Breaking Bad.
No, it's not.
No.
Hank from Breaking Bad. Yes, it is. It's Hank from Breaking Bad. He's standing in for Vincent D'Onofrio.
Especially because of 5 seconds after this episode aired, Vincent D'Onofrio goes on Twitter and says, "Hey, I'm excited for whatever."
I have no doubt that he's going to play Kingpin in the next episode. I'm just saying, that's not him in that photo. That is Hank from Breaking Bad.
You're so full of it, dude. All right, how do I pull this shit off? There we go. Whatever. We're not going to convince him, Matt.
No, I knew we were. That's why I'm saying we don't need to harp on it for too long, but it is funny.
Yeah.
Just laugh. Yeah, Ish is saying spoiler alert. And Sam, thanks for jumping in to defend us. We literally have a spoiler warning tag.
Yeah, we said it about 6 times. Ish.
Yeah, you leave Ish alone, right?
Yeah, Ish is one of our golden fans. Ish can complain if he wants. Keep that
golden
feedback
shower
coming.
Fans.
Yeah. Ish came on and reviewed James Bond with me. It was fun.
Oh, was that Ish? I forgot about that episode. Yeah. I think I left early for whatever reason because I hadn't seen it yet.
You hadn't seen the movie, so you didn't want it spoiled for you.
I want to get Ish on to talk Spider-Man with us when we do the spoiler review.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, which I'm thinking we're gonna it won't be live, right?
No.
Yeah. So Ish, let us know when you're available.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, but this episode, so last week's episode, I think I talked about this last week, that there was just, it felt to lull at a couple times during the episode. I didn't feel that way with this episode at all. Did you guys?
No, I didn't think it lulled at all. When it was over, I was like, oh crap, already? Which I think it was only about a 39-minute episode before trailers. But like, yeah, I didn't think it lulled. I thought it was very well paced. It was super enjoyable. I loved it.
By the way, what is it with Marvel? Like, they have no problem making 3-hour movies, but they can't make an hour-long episode of Marvel TV. Like, what the hell? Or more than 6 episodes or 10 episodes or whatever it is.
Do you think they actually shoot them episodically?
Huh?
You don't think that they shoot it all in one thing and then just cut it up?
No.
I think each episode is written as an episode, but it's not the same as like a network television show, because each episode has a different director. Some of them I think even have different writers. Yeah, Kyle's like, not this talk again. We did this. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, it bothers me that they can have 30 minutes of credits and then 30 minutes of TV and think that that's okay. Not that
but
many.
You keep coming back for more, so obviously they got you hook, line, and sinker.
Just because I want to know what the hell's going on. They got me into the universe, but try a little harder. That's all I'm saying.
Keep coming back for more, so they got you. They're like, oh, got a big one. They got you on the line.
Do you think so obviously with Kate Bishop and we know in Quantumania, the Ant-Man movie, that they got what's her face from Freaky
Kate Bishop
to be what role is she playing? She's playing Ant-Man's daughter. So
Cassie Lang.
Yeah, Cassie Lang, thank you. I forget Catherine something is the actress. But it looks like they're setting up Young Avengers, which has been speculated for some time. Do you think Kate Bishop is going to be positioned to be the leader of that Young Avengers?
No,
I don't think I don't think she'll be the leader.
Because so far she's the biggest name that they've got out of all these Young Avengers. Because you got Miss Marvel, who we know is coming. You've got Cassie Lang. You've got Kate Bishop. Who am I forgetting? Potentially Black Panther's son, right? Florence Pugh would be a Young Avenger.
Yep.
She even the same, like,
she's only like 26 or 27, I think.
Is she only that?
She's pretty young. Yeah.
I guess I was thinking she's older because she's dating Zach Braff.
Yeah, and he's like 44. But yeah, I'm pretty sure she's like 26.
Good for Zach Braff. I don't know. It just
Well, so are you guys thinking the Young Avengers is going to be a TV series? Because right now, I mean, Spider-Man, Tom Holland's young. He could be the leader of the Young Avengers.
Not if he quits.
No, it's probably, it'll probably be a Disney Plus series.
Yeah. I just don't see Tom Holland doing a Disney Plus series.
They need to set up some sort of team to carry on the Avengers franchise, right? Because they've already killed off their two most marketable, or two of their highly marketable characters in Captain America and Iron Man, right? And Sam Wilson, I don't know.
I don't think he'd be a Young Avenger.
No, not a Young Avenger, but I don't think he's enough of a tentpole for the Avengers. Like Sam Wilson to me is like what Hawkeye and Black Widow were to the original Avengers, just kind of like almost like secondary.
You shut your mouth about the new Captain America, right?
I like the new Captain America. I just don't think Anthony Mackie is that engaging.
You shut your mouth.
What was the show on Netflix that he took over for the dude from Suicide Squad? What was that show, Max?
Oh yeah, he took over Altered Carbon, and then Altered Carbon died.
Yeah,
he was in a very interesting episode of Black Mirror also.
I need to watch more of those. I only seen like 2 of those. I watched the one that it's like you choose your own adventure thing, and I was so confused that I stopped watching it. And I watched one where he's like on an exercise bike for the whole episode.
Altered dicks. Nice.
But yeah, I hope so. Ish. You say Ned is going to be Hobgoblin eventually?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I
don't. Yeah.
But yeah, Hawkeye was a good episode. It was a nice little teaser leading up to the final. It was nice showing Hank from Breaking Bad as Kingpin.
It wasn't fucking Hank, dude.
Okay, also, Lance, I think I'm going to side with you now, because thinking through who they've got in the Young Avengers, I think Kate maybe could be the leader.
She's not going to be the leader.
So far, everybody that they've shown, I don't think
they haven't introduced everybody yet either.
That's true.
Max MCM taking over the chat, dude. These guys were part of this chat way before MCM was even a thing. So ain't no MCM taking over this chat. Let's be real.
Ish is posting spoilers in the chat.
Yeah, we're trying to keep Spider-Man spoiler free. We're trying. What he said is pretty generic, but still.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that alludes to that. So, yeah, I'm excited. It feels like that they could have done another 4 episodes of this. Like
it's Kingpin.
I'm kind of worried that it's all going to culminate in one more episode. Like, it just seems like there's so many loose ends, doesn't it?
You know, we've had this conversation too many times about how there's all these storylines, and then I feel like the shows end up tying it up pretty darn well in an hour. So I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to tie up well, and I like the short episode format. I think it's fun. I like that we don't have to watch 20 episodes.
I'm going to spoil it for you right now. Here's the end of Hawkeye. They're going to have their big confrontation with Kingpin, and Christmas morning, Hawkeye's kids are going to wake up and run downstairs and go to the tree, and his daughter's going to be all disappointed that dad's not home, and then the door's going to open and he's going to walk in, and that's how it's going to end.
Are they going to have, like, is Laura going to be the bad guy and she's going to have like a theme song? It was Laura all along. Like, is that going to happen?
I agree with you, Matt, though. I do think that he's going to get home for Christmas. I'll tell you one thing. Kingpin ain't dying. Kingpin is surviving the series.
No, he's not going to die, but he's going to.
And I don't think they're going to take him down either. But I think that they're going to.
But there has to be something that happens to one of these two that justifies further storytelling for there to be a season 2, because Kingpin just appearing, I mean, he can show up in a number of things, Spider-Man and whatever, like, so you don't need Hawkeye to continue his story, but something has to happen to Kate or Clint to justify a season 2. Some sort of, at the end, you know, Laura dies or Kate, you know, loses an eye or some shit. I don't know.
I'm all for that. If Lance is the Kingpin and Matt's the Penguin, best episode ever. Who's Max?
Max is Zack Snyder, and
nah, he's Commissioner Gordon.
There you go.
Whatever.
All right, Max. Do you want to talk about Halo?
Yeah, man, I'll talk about some Halo. Yeah, so this is also going to be a spoiler-free, so I'll take down this banner. I'm not going to spoil Halo for anybody here.
I don't know if it's that much of a deal for...
I'm still not going to do it. We might have listeners that really want to play Halo. I don't know. Plus, I don't struggle too much to give a review without spoilers. Although, admittedly, I'm already worried about myself for Spider-Man. I'm pretty good. I just don't know what you say. Spoilers.
It was good. And Matt
there's a lot you can say, but there's that one's tougher. But speaking about Halo, also with video games, it's easier because you don't always have to talk about story. You can talk about gameplay. So one of the things I'm going to say about Halo that I wasn't as big of a fan of, because I've said many times I love the gameplay, but the campaign for Halo all takes place on what's called Zeta Halo. It's another Halo ring. It's supposed to be like the original Halo ring, and it's beautiful. The landscapes are great, but my big issue is that the whole campaign only takes place on like this forested area, kind of like you're seeing in the image here from the box art that Lance put up. But like Halo 1 had snow areas and forest areas, and that was from like 2001. So it was just a bit of a bummer that there wasn't a more dynamic ecosystem to explore. There wasn't dynamic weather. There wasn't a day-night cycle. It was just daytime all the time and forest all the time. And it was fun. Like, having this open world aspect to a Halo game was cool. Like, I enjoyed going to outposts and taking them down and unlocking new vehicles and weapons that you can get at the outposts and fast travel points. And it was cool. Like, if I wanted to go to a mission with like 6 Marines in the back of a vehicle with me, I could. And that was nice.
Whoa. That sounds like a personal thing. You want to do a mission with 6 Marines?
Yeah, bro. We don't need to know your fetishes, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like a painful evening.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
But it was fun. As for the story, so Halo 5 wasn't received very well. This is the sequel to that. And I feel like they did a good job of tying up loose ends in Halo 5. They could have done a better job of that. I thought the story overall was pretty good. It wasn't the best Halo ever, though. So let's see. What is Zaggy saying? I expected it to be bigger, is all my gripe, but the story kind of stunk. I don't think the story stunk. I thought the story was good. I think it could have been better, but I think because Halo 5 left such a bad taste in people's mouth, they really tried to course correct, and it was too big of a task. I think that there's still time for them to, I don't know what the plan is, if there's going to be a sequel in 5 years to this game, or if they're going to release story content in a couple years, or I don't know what the plan is with Halo Infinite. The story is definitely not done, but I liked what they did with it. I thought there was some really emotional aspects between, like, basically there's like 3 main characters in the story. There's Master Chief. There's this new AI. It's not Cortana, but she's called the Weapon. And
Doesn't Cortana die in a previous game? Do I remember? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes and no. And she supposedly dies at the end of 4, but then she's in Halo 5, and she's kind of like the villain of Halo 5. And then Halo Infinite is still dealing with the fallout of Cortana. But like, the 3 main characters are Chief, this new AI that is basically Cortana, but not Cortana. It's just like a copy of her. And then this pilot that's flying you around. And you get a lot of like backstory about the pilot, because he's like the everyday man, this normal guy. He's got a wife and he's got a kid, and like, you sympathize with him. He's just this normal guy. He's not a super soldier like Chief. And anyway, it's got some really cool emotional parts to it, and the gameplay is a lot of fun. But if I had to rank it in my Halos, I don't know how many Halo games are there now. There's 6 mainline, there's 2 offshoots. It might be in my top 5 Halo stories, but it's not the top. Halo 2, I think, is still my favorite Halo game ever. I just love that game. My
problem with these games is it doesn't seem like much changes. Well, I played the first 3. I tried to play 4 and just lost interest in it. But like, it doesn't seem like a whole lot changes from game to game. And I think that's kind of the same thing that Call of Duty kind of suffers from, right? The gameplay is pretty much the same. All they can really improve upon is the graphics and things like that. But the story's been kind of lackluster for the last 3 games.
Depends on who you ask. Halo 4 was one of my favorite campaigns. I loved it. And a lot of people agree. It was a pretty darn good story.
Which one's the one with the flood?
That's Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
Yeah, and those are awesome. And that tells a complete story. You're right, though, the gameplay doesn't change a lot, but that to me is because Halo's gameplay has always been phenomenal. And so they don't want to change it too much, but they have changed it. I mean, they've modernized it to where now you have sprint. They've got the grapple hook in this game. Oh my gosh, that is like the most fun thing I've ever had in a shooter. Like the grapple hook. I basically was like scaling mountains with this thing, and it was awesome because I upgraded it to where it could like recharge faster. And so I'd grapple up like 20 or 30 feet, and then I'd start to fall, but then it would recharge and I'd grapple another 20 or 30 feet, and I could go like straight up a mountain with my grapple hook. It made traversal and exploration just like so freaking fun. That was another.
Are you serious? His wife's laptop just broke.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's too much awesomeness on the screen. I take it.
That sucks. You probably got like a blue screen of death or something like that.
Sucks, man.
Yeah, that does suck. Turn it off and on again. IT 101.
If that doesn't work, throw it out the window.
Surprised you haven't said get a Mac. That's Lance's thing. Although I guess we
No,
don't know.
My Mac's pissing me off right now. So I'm about this close to saying fuck all of it.
That's technology, man. That's just anything. I mean, I was telling Kelsey earlier tonight that it's my Traeger's starting to go out. Like I need to get a new one. And I've only had that thing for like 4 years. It's not going to go out that soon. It's still working, but you know, I use it a lot. It gets a lot of use. So got to keep my barbecue going.
Solo just took it dark.
Oh man.
Man,
he says
dude,
my mom passed away like 4 years ago. She doesn't have a laptop, Ish.
It was all funny, haha. Now I feel like we need to start a GoFundMe for Solo. Oh man.
Well, I can understand, Ish, why your mom would be pretty mad. If my laptop or my computer broke, I'd be pretty pissy. I would be definitely mad about that.
So would you recommend this game?
Absolutely.
Max?
Absolutely. It's the most fun shooter that I've played in a long time. But I know, like for Matt, he enjoys Call of Duty shooting mechanics more. So maybe it's not for him as much. But if you like Halo, I think you're going to like Halo Infinite, like from a gameplay standpoint. Like whether you like the story or not, it seems like it's divisive. I like
the Halo multiplayer, but like the multiplayer has had a successful launch. I mean, there's a few gripes that I have. It's just like how slow it is, the movement is.
Mm-hmm.
But like compared to like the recent clusterfuck of what Call of Duty just rolled out with Vanguard and their expansion into Warzone and what's going on with all that and how bad Battlefield 2042 is.
Ooh, yeah, that was a nightmare.
Excuse me. Halo has definitely been the most successful game launch in recent memory. So
yeah, the multiplayer launch is really good. I've got a couple gripes about the multiplayer as well. One of which is not a developer problem. It's a me problem. I just suck and I can't freaking win a match. Some of that is because I keep playing with my cousin, and maybe I'm wrong about the matchmaking, but my cousin is pretty good. I'm not as good as him, and so I worry when I'm on his fire team, it's matchmaking me with his skill level, and so I'm just getting roasted. Because when I play by myself, I actually do okay, but when I play with him, I'm just like getting.
You just need a palate cleanser. Just play Mario Kart online for a couple hours, and then jump back on the Halo.
I probably get my butt kicked over there too. No, that's why I've been playing Forza and just like turning the volume down and listening to my audiobook because I got so frustrated. The Cardinals lost a big game and I was pissed about that. And then I couldn't win any Halo matches the next day. And I was like, screw this. I'm just going to play Forza, turn the difficulty down, win every race, and listen to a good audiobook. So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
But Halo. So my gripes with Halo Infinite multiplayer for real though are it's just really simple. They did release an update this week that's nice. Like it didn't
obviously not too simple because you're getting roasted.
No.
Yeah.
What I mean by is their offering. So like basically you would join into quick play or big team battle. That was it. You couldn't go in and say, hey, I just want to play Slayer or I just want to play oddball or whatever. Like you couldn't do that. And that's kind of weird. Like
my favorite was always capture the flag.
Yeah, or that. Like you couldn't pick that when you joined in. And that's frustrating because sometimes I don't really want to play capture the flag or oddball, especially if I'm not playing on a team. If I'm just playing by myself, I just want to shoot people.
Yeah.
You know? So I want to just pick Slayer and go play Slayer. And that luckily has been added now, but it wasn't there at first, and that was a bummer. And their battle pass is okay, but it could be better. But anyway, the point of the matter is I really love Halo Infinite, but
Ish has a Chipotle quesadilla, and it's pretty tasty.
That seemed pretty like out of nowhere.
That is very random. How much have you had to drink, Ish? What's going on here? Well, that's enough Halo. We can move on to our final challenge of the night, talking about Spider-Man without any spoilers.
I don't know about this.
Be very careful. Be careful. Lance.
I'm just gonna you guys lead the conversation and I'll just chime in when I know when it's appropriate because I do not have faith in myself through this. There's so many things I want to talk about and I can't talk about them.
Well, that's the good thing is that we will have plenty to talk about on our spoiler cast later. But for now, we're going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. We are not going to spoil it. If you're in the comments, please don't type spoilers for those who are listening live and don't want it spoiled, or those who are listening to the playback and don't want it spoiled. Please don't spoil it. Matt, do you want to go first, or
no? You're the one that has all this confidence that you can do this spoiler free. So I vote Max.
Fine, I'll go first. So
all I'm going to say is I liked it.
I will say first and foremost, I loved the movie overall. I don't know that I would say it's like the best Spider-Man movie that's ever come out yet, but it was very good. One of the things I'll say is that the pacing of it wasn't my favorite. Like there were some story beats that they just skipped over, and I got confused. Like I was like, wait, what's going on? Well, they didn't resolve that other story beat, so what's going on with the story? And then they also started getting into some different. They started taking the story directions I wasn't expecting, which was good because we saw so many leaks on this. We saw so many rumors and other things that like I was worried I was going to come into the movie and just not be surprised by anything. Well, luckily I was surprised by some things, but one of those things I was surprised by, which I won't say what it is, I wasn't liking. And I'm like, gosh, this movie's kind of going slow. I don't really like the way that they're taking this. And then, boom, like something happens and it just picked up. And once it picked up, and there was some more like emotional depth to the movie, it really took off. Like, so basically it's probably like a third of the way into the movie is when it finally took off, and it
was a little slow really in the beginning, huh?
It was. I was kind of like, this is boring. I'm not liking this.
I liked the beginning. Oh shit, man. I fucking hate this. It's a direct continuation from the last one, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
We can say that, okay? And I liked the beginning and showing, as we know in the last one, Spider-Man's identity is revealed to the world. And I liked seeing that fallout, right, of what was happening.
Me too.
And then as soon as they stopped focusing on the fallout, I felt like it got slow.
Yeah, when they finally started focusing on what we see in the trailers, all the multiverse stuff and the villains coming in, like it to me it started to get slow and like kind of drag at that point.
Yeah.
Until a certain point in the movie, and then it was fantastic after that. Yeah. Solo's asking if Uncle Ben is okay, right?
Yeah, Uncle Ben is in this movie. It's played by Pierce Brosnan.
Is Uncle Ben okay?
There's a very long makeout scene with Marissa Tomei and Pierce Brosnan. It's kind of awkward. Chris Pratt is in this movie, but not as Star-Lord. He's playing Mario.
It's me, Chris Pratt.
He's like, I get the bad guys, the Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know. It did seem to. So I was reading this this ranking on what site is this? comicbookmovie.com, and they were ranking the Spider-Man movies, and they had this one second from the top with what's the cartoon called?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse is number one. I still don't know. Like, I think Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire is still a better movie than this. This movie has a lot more fan moments. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
It has a lot more fan moments, which makes it really exciting because of the fan moments. But as far as the fleshed out story and the acting and things like that, I still think Spider-Man 2 is a superior movie. And Into the Spider-Verse is pretty close to that.
Yeah, so it's tough because I did love the movie. So I'll say one performance I absolutely loved. Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. This is the best he's ever done as Green Goblin. Like, this was the best rendition I've seen.
Aside from the one other time, is that what you're talking about?
Sure. Well, he played it like in every in 3 as well.
He was in 3?
Yeah, he was talking to like Harry in Spider-Man 3.
That's another one that I've kind of struck from my memory.
Yeah, so fair enough. He only really plays it in the one movie, but I thought he did an even better job here. Like, the way they portrayed Green Goblin, I absolutely loved. But what I didn't like as much is like Doc Ock. I thought some of the way they portrayed the other villains that you see in the trailer was kind of campy and cheesy at times, and not in a good way. At other times it was great. Like I don't know. Just it was specifically Doc Ock was my main issue because Electro was better than Amazing Spider-Man too. Not that that's hard to get better than that. The Doc Ock was
still
just really
he was my
cheesy and
least
campy.
favorite. Jamie Foxx was still my least favorite.
He was still my least favorite.
And then okay,
well, maybe Lizard. Lizard might have been my least favorite.
Okay, I can say this because it was in the trailer. So we know Lizard and Sandman are in this movie.
Yeah.
He's pretty much the Lizard and as Sand the entire movie. Like they're not in their full body for more than a millisecond. Is that spoiler?
Sorry, say it again. I was reading comments.
So pretty much he's in the Lizard embodiment for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like every scene that he's in. And Sandman, the same thing. Like he's always Sand. And I didn't like that too much.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that either. Matt, what do you think? You've been really quiet.
Yeah, because I'm trying not to spoil this movie. I don't think there's a lot you can say about this movie to not.
Yeah,
spoil.
why did we agree to this? This is really
I
hard.
think that I'm going to put this. I think a lot of people are going to the movies and having a great time with this film. I did not have a great time with this film. I liked it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. But this is the first time that doing what we do in podcasting and talking about this stuff has really ruined something for me that I was really looking forward to.
I can agree with that.
To the point, like I've been sick. I went and got COVID tested just so I could make sure I could go see this movie. And, I did my due diligence just so I could go see this movie. And I was disappointed because all the spoilers that you read online and everything pretty much ruined this movie for me.
And it's no one's fault, but like I blame myself because I went searching for them. You know what I mean? And now in hindsight, I wish I didn't because I think it didn't make the movie as impactful as it could have been.
I think I had more fun watching the reactions and listening to the reactions of the people in the theater I was in when certain things happened than actual the movie. Like it just
I think
Kyle's talking shit, Matt. He says, but Captain Marvel is a 9.8.
I know it is.
So I'm with Zaggy. He said he saw the spoilers and still loved it. He said the same thing with Endgame. Well, I didn't see any spoilers for Endgame. I'm really glad because I would have been pretty pissed.
But I've been on the thumb, and Kyle can't deny this. I've been on the thumb of this storyline since the movie was announced. It's a good mixture of 3 Spider-Man stories. One More Day, One Moment in Time, and Brand New Day.
Yeah.
I've been on that since the beginning. And then it's just been piss poor. This is the worst kept secret in Marvel. Like, I don't understand why they release these leaks. I don't understand if they released them on purpose, why they did it. Like, I don't understand how so many people got so much information, so much footage, how they're allowing, like, you got to think with the way of the world right now, and everybody's kind of still being like not locked down, but tight knit, that they should know what editor is leaking this out, or they should know who leaked this or who leaked that. Like, it's crazy how many leaks for this movie. Almost the entire damn movie was leaked out online.
This one has been one of the worst offenders ever.
But I think it's because there's so much interest in it.
I will agree though, and here's the thing: I don't think what we're even saying is like a spoiler because there's a lot of leaks that I saw that weren't real, or like I saw some things that told me what the whole story was going to be. I wish I wouldn't have read it, but it turned out that a lot of what was in there wasn't true. So there's definitely a lot of stuff out there that's not real, but it does suck to have things ruined for you. So like The Force Awakens, this movie's from 2015. We can spoil this movie, but I had the Han Solo death ruined for me, and I was pissed. Like, that was a big deal. And the day I was going to go see the movie, someone posted a picture of Han Solo getting stabbed through the chest by Kylo Ren, and I'm like, what? Like, that pissed me off.
See that? I didn't see a spoiler of that, but when I saw it, it did not shock me because I knew Harrison Ford did not want to do any more movies.
Fair enough, but the point I'm trying to make is,
no, I agree with you. I
getting things spoiled for you kind of sucks, and so I hope for a lot of people's sake that they didn't see any leaks and they got to be completely surprised by a lot of things in this movie. Shoot, it would have been cool if I didn't see a trailer at all for this movie and I just showed up and I'm like, wait, what? Electro's in this and Doc
Yeah,
Ock?
I don't think they should have showed any of that in the trailers.
They should have just had Tom Holland come on screen and go, hey, guys, guess what? I'm going to be in a new Spider-Man movie. It comes out December 17th. And then end. That should have been the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know how you would have cut a trailer and not like at least explain the premise, but it would have been cool if they could have found a way, because it would have been nice to be completely surprised by all of that. It would have been cool.
Like I said, it's not a terrible movie, but it's like I can't be one of these people that are out there like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever. It's 10 out of 10. No, it's not. It's not an 8 out of 10 for me, and a lot of that could be because I'm jaded from the spoilers. But a lot of the plot points too, in the decisions they made in the movie, from a comic book standpoint, and what the core of Spider-Man is, making these choices don't make sense for this character.
And the fallout from some of those choices, like what it does to the future.
It's really interesting though, the score you give it, Matt, because like based on our conversations in chat and before the show, you liked this movie less than me, but I would give it an 8 out of 10 as well. But like I loved it. I really loved the movie. I thought, some of the action sequences at the end were really great. I thought that Willem Dafoe's performance was fantastic. There were so many things that I loved.
He definitely,
it wasn't perfect.
So I loved Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin in the first movie, but I had issues with it. This movie, he redeems himself. Like the way he portrays it, it just seems more like there's more of that duality between his the evilness and the Norman Osborn that we know, right? Like,
yeah,
I loved it. Like I thought it was better than the portrayal in the first movie. And we've seen it in the trailer, so I can say this too. Hopefully, fuck, dude, I hate this so much. We see in the trailers that he gets a new suit, right? I loved that he got a new suit. Like I hated the Power Rangers thing.
I thought the suits in this were stupid
because
there was no.
I liked it better than the Power Rangers.
There was no rhyme or reason or explanation for the suit. What the hell was why the hell was he wearing the black suit? Because it's dark out.
No, there was a reason for that, but
I understand. I understand like the hybrid suit, because not really spoilers, but it's already been out there. But the hybrid suit, I get that, but like there was no rhyme or reason for the different suits.
Which hybrid?
The one from the trailer where he's like in a black suit. I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh well, it's just his suit turned inside out.
No, it's not. It's the mix of his Far From Home suit with the Iron Spider suit. We'll talk about it off because I can't say it because it's going to spoil it.
Yeah,
but
because I'm having a hard time following.
I agree. Yeah, the movie ends with an incredibly huge, massive plot hole, and I don't know. I just
okay. So we see in the trailers that Electro's not blue, right? We saw that. I thought that their explanation for that was kind of dumb. Like it just seemed really like, hey, well,
because it was one of the it was one of the stipulations Jamie Foxx had. He said, "I'm not going to come on. I'm not coming back if you're going to make me blue."
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but I felt like they could have explained it a little bit better. Like maybe brought him from a different universe where he wasn't blue. You know what I mean? Like instead of, I don't know.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't perfect, but this is like when you have a movie with this many characters in it, they just had to quickly give an explanation, and so it was fine.
I think we should just record the spoiler version of this right after.
Yeah, should we just get?
I'm all fired up about it now.
I think we're good. I mean, we've probably been talking about it for 15-20 minutes.
I would say that this is not as good as Spider-Man 2, but it's better than Spider-Man 1. Would you guys say that?
I think it's my favorite of the Tom Holland trilogy.
It's definitely my favorite of the Tom Holland. Well,
it's definitely my favorite of the Tom Holland trilogy.
Yeah, it is because of all the fan service in it. But But the first one, the Homecoming, is so good because they kind of sidestep that whole Uncle Ben story, and I loved that. Like the not rehashing it again.
Yeah, me too.
So it's hard for the Homecoming's pretty good, but Toby's second movie is definitely better than this movie.
I don't know. Like, it's a good movie, but my dislike for this comes purely as from someone who loves Spider-Man and is a massive Spider-Man fan, and just some of the directions they go, some of the choices they make.
I agree with you.
Just kind of leave me going, who okayed this? Did this get snuck by when they were having their Sony Marvel rift? Like, who proofread this?
They all want us to spoil it.
I mean, I think at this point we can. If you're an audio listener, you just tune out at this point, and the rest of this is going to be spoilers. I have no problem with that. If we want to,
no, I don't.
No, because we need content for
for later. Sounds good. Well, then let's just wrap up this episode. This is the last thing we were going to talk about anyway.
No, there's one more thing. Our 300th episode's coming up.
Yes, it is. It's exciting. And look at this new art that Lance made. Look at us as superheroes. Don't we look sexy? Don't you think Matt would look better with a mustache, though? I think Matt would look better with a mustache.
I think I look like Chaz Bono no matter what.
So Matt, I think I had the perfect representation of Matt. And Matt poo-pooed it and made me get rid of a bunch of stuff. Now I don't think it looks anything like Matt.
I think it does.
And Max agreed with me.
No, I think it looks like Matt, but I did like the mustache before better.
Dude, the picture before, you gave me like a 70s porn stash.
No.
Like, it just looked
dude,
terrible.
I literally traced a picture from your Facebook. I traced it. I put it on my iPad and traced
I was vibing on it.
Yeah, well.
But if you get a close-up of Max's, you can see his little gray hairs in his beard.
No, I can't grow a mustache. It grows in very dirty Sanchez in a week.
You can't. You just got to appreciate what God's given you, man.
I can't even grow a beard. It grows in all trailer parky and blotchy.
Well, I'm really jealous of Max's beard because, like, my hair gets all patchy up on my cheeks, so I don't get that connect.
I do have the best Absolute Geek beard.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
Sam grows a pretty good beard too.
He does. I agree with that. Kyle's giving us crap because this isn't. We're on episode 300, and he's like, "You've done 300 episodes?" No, we haven't. We know that.
Well, between
I'm about to do 300 episodes. Been here for them all.
Between Couch Crunchers and this, I guess we can call it. We've done 300 podcast
Couch Crunchers. We were, I think, almost to 150. I think when we ended.
150 on the YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Something like
all
that.
I know is episode 300 is coming up. That'll probably be my first episode back after having little geek baby.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're gonna have a big.
What's the progress on that, buddy?
Hopefully we're gonna have a big guest interview for that episode.
I'm trying. There's a couple names there that I'm really excited about. We'll just hopefully it comes to fruition. So we've got some big plans for the 300th episode, and I'm hoping we'll also have a couple of other surprises. So yeah, it's gonna be big.
Sam, episode 300 is going to be 100% arguing about local geography.
Nah.
Yeah, and then you didn't have a top 5 this week, right, Matt? So
nope.
Did you just take off the support your local comic book store, Max?
No.
I hit it.
Oh, you hit it.
Yeah. No, I said, I've been sick, so I've done. I went and got my books, but I haven't read them. I just slept a lot, so
that's what you got to do, man.
You know,
I might try to see if I can find a single ticket to Spider-Man after this.
Jesus Christ!
But yeah, so this is the earliest we've gotten done in a long time.
So we were gonna do the holiday episode next week, but after talking with some people, they made a good point that for half the year there weren't episodes because we left and went and did MCM before I came back. So I think we're gonna forego the holiday episode this year. So this will probably be our last episode until the new year.
Well, we'll have our spoiler episode come out, right? That's pre-recorded.
We'll probably upload the spoiler episode on Christmas Eve, which is next Friday. And then the Friday after that is New Year's Eve. So, yeah. So this will probably be our last episode before the new year. This is going to be probably my last episode until my daughter comes. So,
have you guys gotten a name yet?
We have several names picked out, but we're not going to agree on one until she's born.
What's your top choice?
Right now it's between Carter and Logan.
Oh, those are good. I like those.
I like those a lot.
Just don't be like Jason Lee and name your kid like Pilot Inspector or something like that.
No. It's Luca is one of them. Carter, Logan, Drew, Kyler, and there's a couple other ones.
I have a really good friend that's named Kyler. He's a dude, but that name's pretty. That name can jump genders, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love them. Those are good names. Well, we're excited. We expect to see pictures.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, I was talking about Logan Page. Isn't that a badass name? Sounds like a rock star name, doesn't it? Logan Page.
When you first said it, I was thinking Luke Cage.
No, Logan Page, and then Luca Joy. I'd call her LJ. But we haven't agreed yet. We're gonna wait until. So it's funny because we went and did some 3D ultrasounds 2 weeks in a row because the first time they didn't turn out well, and the second time there was like one good. Like every time she got her good, where you could see her and she'd smile, like that she like turn a knob and it would look like her face is melting, like she's like a wax figure melting.
Yeah, we stopped getting those because if you don't have a lot of fluid in your uterus, they never turn out that great. Like we did them for our first ones and we're like, this is weird, and we stopped doing them.
Yeah.
So, I have the best name idea. This is what you should name her. She needs 2 middle names for this to work. Allison Grace Page Alvord. AGP. AGP.
But like we were there, they're like, oh, she has hair, so she's gonna be. We know she's gonna be born with hair. I just don't know what color it's gonna be. So we'll see.
So is Aaron getting a lot of heartburn? That's the myth. Is that when they have a lot of hair, they have a lot of heartburn.
Yep, she's had heartburn constantly. She pees every 3 minutes.
Oh, well, that's with every pregnancy. Pushing on that bladder.
Yep.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, we are too.
So
it's a good way to start the new year, I guess.
Yeah, the New Year's baby. Hopefully, that'd be awesome. So tune in next week. We're gonna have a pre-recorded episode with our spoiler Spider-Man No Way Home, which tonight was excruciating. Trying to do that. We're never doing that again. I just want you guys to know I'm just not going to come on those episodes. So we're just
honestly it was kind of hard for me too.
It's a hard movie to talk about without spoiling. There's so much in it. I mean, the entire movie is a spoiler. Like any plot detail is a spoiler. So tune in next week. And Max, you want to take it out? Tell them where they can find us on social media and all that stuff.
No, Ish, I haven't taken the Moz classes because we took a parenting class, but Erin has already said and told the doctor and made it very apparent that she wants an epidural right away as soon as she can get one. So thankfully there's probably not to be any Lamaze involved for me.
Well, Lamaze, like, I don't know if that would make sense. I mean, Erin's gone through labor before, so
yeah.
Lamaze is mostly about her. Like you, it's just, especially if she has an epidural, but it's just kind of teaching you like to be there for her, which if you're a loving husband, you're going to do that.
Lamaze goes to college.
No, I'm a dick. I'm just going to be sitting in the corner playing my Nintendo Switch while she's over there doing everything.
I remember for our third baby, they had me hold Anna as they were putting the epidural in, and I was doing such a bad job that the nurse pushed me out of the way and did it herself. Because they're like, arch her back. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it can be stressful.
But yeah, I hope you guys have a great holiday. I hope you guys have an amazing new year. Hope you guys wish everyone the best going into 2022. Hopefully we can still get cons next year and all see each other in person. And
I want to go to a con so bad.
It's just crazy how like life is so much different in 1 year, man. It's insane.
2 years now. We're almost up on 2 years, and life is just completely different. It's weird. Like I feel like I see people a lot less now, and that's hard for me because I'm a pretty social. I'm a pretty social person. Like I like big crowds and stuff like that, and pretty much the only person I see is Max and my family. Because you live too fucking far away.
Yeah, we see each other pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I'm not naming my kid HBO Lance.
I was like, he does realize it's not me having the kid. I didn't understand what he was saying.
Well, it's Sam that said that, right? Yeah. That's because Sam, when we were doing Couch Crunchers and we would need to watch something on HBO Max, he would use your login. And so he would always say HBO Lance.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, yeah. Cobra Kai in 2 weeks. Witcher season 2.
Oh, shit. I forgot about Cobra Kai.
Yeah, man. Lots of exciting stuff.
That might be rolled into our if we're doing Christmas Eve, definitely. So the pre-recorded episode next week is also going to include the Hawkeye spoilers, right?
Yeah,
for episode 6.
Maybe
if we do it quickly enough.
We can't maybe have to get together on like Wednesday night and record it or something.
Yeah, I'm down. All right, boys. I appreciate you guys. Ish, Sam, Kyle. Who else was on here? Solo.
Ish, hit me up on Messenger and let me know when you're free this week to do or what time you're free this week to do Spider-Man, and we'll get you on there.
Leftovers, Aggie, your mom. Hopefully your mom gets her computer fix. Max Bender. I think that's everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in every week and being lively on the chat. Go check us out on social media. And I don't know how you close out the show, Matt. You do it. What do you say?
I say again, thank you everyone for the love and support over the last year. It's been a heck of a ride. I hope you all have a great holiday. You celebrate Christmas, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And I hope 2022 is fantastic for everyone involved. And until next time, I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
I'm Max.
All you freaks and geeks.
Come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks.
Spread the cheeks.
And drink some Cosby wine.
We'll drink some Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute Geek.